Hey guys, so sorry it took me so long to. What, Drew? Okay. Sorry it took me so long to get a video up and to film, really. Things have been a little crazy. Like I said, we did have the move, which we did do. We've been here for almost a week, and things are still like getting into this wing. We're still getting a routine down and stuff, but so far it has been pretty smooth, as smooth as it could be. I said that I might do a room tour. Bubby, will you turn that down a little bit? Turn it down. Thank you. I said that I might do a room tour, and I don't know if I'm for sure going to do that. I do have 8 weeks until Prim comes. Well, less than 8, like 7.5. So I'm like trying to get things rearranged so everything can fit in here. It's not small, but just get things situated and prepare for a baby. And I'm getting to the last straw of buying big things and little things and things like that. So it is a little hectic here and there. And I don't really want to do a room tour until everything is in its spot, and I don't know how soon that's going to be from the time that it happens to when Brim gets here, so I don't want to do a room tour of a room that's not done or not completely together, and I don't want to do a room tour of a room that is like a mess and insane. So yeah, I don't know if I'm for sure going to do that. I've never really said that I was for sure going to do one. I said I've thought about it. I did one a few years ago, I think, in the apartment, but yeah, so Drew, Prim, and I do share a room here. The room is more than big enough. There is room for Drew to have his own room, but I would just rather, because I'm downstairs, I would just rather have him down here with me, and he's so used to being in the room and in the same bed with me that him transitioning to his own bed before Prim comes is going to be a little much anyway, so I don't really want to shove him in his own room and just make him feel, left out or anything. So I think it works out pretty okay with all of us being in the same room. And yeah, so anyway, I'm doing my 30-week pregnancy update. I think it has been... I think it has been 3 weeks. Hold on. I think it...
A woman, and I don't care. And I hate women.
Okay, Bobby. I think it has been 3 weeks since I did a pregnancy update. I'm now 31 weeks and 3 days. So it's a little crazy. I will be 8 months on Friday. So that is insane. It's actually Halloween. So happy Halloween. We just got home from trick-or-treating and ate some dinner and things like that. Anyway, so I am 31.5 weeks pregnant. And yeah, let's see. I had talked about the vertigo dizziness. There's still like really no cause for that. I did take my gestational diabetes test, and I don't have gestational diabetes. You have to be a 132 or 135 or lower, and I scored a 132. So I don't have diabetes. I do have low iron, which I was anemic with him as well, but it's not low enough that they want to give me specific iron pills or any of that sort. Basically just continue taking prenatals or whatever, and yeah, I should be okay. I did take antibiotics for the dizziness and the congestion and stuff, and it did help quite a bit. I still have days where I'm more dizzy than others. I can still only lay on my right side. There's still certain things that I'm limited to doing, and it does suck, but I think it's just one of those things that I have to just push through. I do have an OB appointment coming up soon that I'm going to ask about, but I don't think that there's really anything else that I can do for it. It's just something that I'm stuck with, and I have to be okay with and fight through it. I do know that like some things make it worse. So, like if I don't sleep or I'm too tired, that makes it worse. If I get sick, like nasally or congested, which is a ton, that makes it worse. Ooh. So, yeah, there is things that do make it worse and things like that. So it is frustrating and annoying, but it could be a lot worse. So that I do also drink more water now, so that's good. So I also talked about in my last pregnancy update that I had a ultrasound at 28 weeks, and I didn't understand why. No one else was having one, and so I asked you guys to comment down below if you guys knew why, and everyone was just saying to check baby's growth, and that's actually not true. It had nothing to do with baby, like it did have to do with baby, but it wasn't for her growth or any of that sort. It wasn't a like mandatory ultrasound. No one else gets this ultrasound. Technically, I got this ultrasound because in my gender reveal, my gender ultrasound at 20 weeks, they realized that my placenta was low. So it wasn't low enough to cover my cervix and be considered placenta previa, but it was lower than it should be, so it was lower than normal, which would change things up a bit. It would just basically make me more high risk, put me on bed rest and things like that. So they wanted to make sure that the placenta had moved back up, and because I did have that bleeding the day of Drew's birthday, that was a really good sign. That could mean that it possibly did go back to where it should be. So the good news is I did get that ultrasound, and she is perfectly fine. She's healthy. She is, well, at 29 weeks, she was 2 pounds and 11 ounces. So she's a little chunky baby. Not really, but, it did move back up. My placenta was fine. Now, something that really, really bugged me was they didn't tell me that my placenta was low at my 20 weeks. They waited almost 2 months later to tell me that my placenta was low, which is, like, I'm pretty sure highly illegal. But the good thing is everything is fine. So if something were to happen, I probably would have had a lawsuit. And I possibly still could, but everything is fine, and I'm just not even going to stress myself with that. It was a different doctor. I now see one specific doctor, which is the doctor who's going to be performing my surgery, and I love her so much, so I'm not really too worried about it. She's very attentive and is, helpful, and, yeah. So I did have the ultrasound. It was just specifically for me because of my placenta, but everything is fine. I do have pictures from that. I have 2 different little pictures. But with moving, they got put into a box, which is currently in the trunk of my car, which is outside, and I didn't want to go get them and dig through the papers and things like that. So I will use one as the thumbnail, and then you guys can check out my Instagram to see the other ones, or I'll show them in my next video. You could see her facial features completely. I made sure that she was still a girl, and she is. It is very, very clear that she's a little girl, which kind of, I love her to death, but I wanted a boy. Yeah, she's definitely, like, my twin. Like, she looks just like me. Her eye shape, you can kind of see her eye shape, and it's kind of like mine. Her chin and face structure is dead, like, completely mine. Her nose is completely mine, and, like, you can even see, like, this little indent that I have right here, which mine's kind of deep. It's hard to see in videos, but I do have, like, a deeper indent right there. And she has that. I mean, plain as day. She is like my little twin, and it's so adorable. So no, yeah. 2 pumpkins. We are getting into the last weeks. Basically, what this has been consisting of, I talked about lactating, and that did slow down a lot. I don't really know why. I don't know what changed. But yeah, I don't leak as much anymore. Mainly, like, if I'm just laying down and they're kind of, like, smushed, or, like, they fall on top of each other. If I'm not wearing a bra, then they do, but other than that, it did slow down a ton, which is a good sign. She stays up in my ribs a lot. She constantly is like kicking my little ribs, putting her little toes by my ribs or kicking them. She kind of presses up against them sometimes. She still stays to the left side for the majority, and she constantly has the hiccups. Like, I'm not kidding. Hiccups are almost always. Which is fine, but it's so funny. She gets so mad and goes wild kicking because of the hiccups. It's slowed down a little bit more now as well, but in the few weeks prior, there was a lot of pelvic pain, and that was just like where it's like separating so she can fit. She's not going out that way, but my body doesn't know that. So there was quite a bit of pain there where I would have to readjust my position or prop my legs up or different things like that. But other than that, I think that's about it. I did have a little bit of swelling in my feet the other day, my ankles, but that's because I've been doing a lot of standing and walking, so that's fine. Preeclampsia so far has been a-okay, and my protein levels in my urine are fine. Everything is swell, except for, the whole, like, dizziness or whatever. I think it's just going to be something that I have to deal with the rest of my pregnancy. Your hair's wild, dude. Watch that plate. The rest of my pregnancy and get over. But anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna try to do more frequent updates. It is getting down to the last weeks. So hold on, Drew. So I do know that I'm going to say probably after 34 weeks, I will do weekly updates. I was trying to do every 2 weeks now, but then the move and everything, so I should be back to every 2 weeks or every week. It'll probably just differ, but with the last few weeks, I know that I will do very frequent updates and things. And something that I want to mention is I did get asked to do a birth vlog. There's no way I can do that. I film my videos with my laptop or my phone, and I don't edit. I don't do any of that really. It's pure natural for my videos. So with the hecticism of a major abdominal surgery and a newborn in a hospital and family and friends, there's no way that I'm going to be able to film that. I think that it would be nice to look back on, but I don't want to watch life through a lens, which is really why I don't take as many like videos and vlogs and stuff, is because I don't want to watch life through a lens. And yes, it would be nice to have that to look back on, but I'm just not even going to worry about it. If I do film, then yes, that'll be great to have, but if not, then I'm not going to be upset. I know there's going to be plenty of pictures and things like that, and I know I will show you guys her after she's born and things like that, but after a big surgery like that and my family, friends, and things like that, then I'm just not going to worry about it. It's a very, very hectic day, and I know that a lot of you guys feel connected to myself and my kids, which sometimes I think is a little weird. I think some people think a little too close. It's a little weird. But I do show you guys what I can. The cat is in her bassinet right now. I do show you guys what I can, and yeah, that's just a special day for my kids and myself and my family, so that is something that I do just want to be able to enjoy instead of worrying about, hey, can you pick that up and vlog this, so that is just going to be something that I'm just going to cherish and have it as a memory for myself, basically, but there's going to be plenty of pictures. So anyway, that is my 30-week pregnancy update. I am going to show you guys my belly as soon as I find somewhere to set this. Yeah, some days I feel like a ginormous whale, and other days I feel like I'm not too big. I'm not too big for 31 weeks, but I'm definitely growing, and my belly's getting very, very tight, and it gets kind of uncomfortable. And so anyway, yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you guys want to see more pregnancy updates. Don't forget to comment down below how your Halloween went, because it is Halloween, so happy Halloween. Comment down below how your Halloween went. and subscribe to see more of us, and I hope you all have a terrific day. So it's like totally on top of the dog cage, but yeah, this is 31 weeks for me. Like I said, some days I feel like I am huge, other days I feel like I am not so big, but I'm kind of a whale some days. Other days I'm really not. Like I said, she has moved a lot further up, like her booty's up here, so. But anyway, yeah, that is 31